Noel, and I'm a poet.
Oh, we're going to Costco today. My libido says nay. So let this be our challenge. Costco will be our sexual foreplay. The samples are obvious. We will sample every morsel of each other, tasting more of what's to come. We will wait patiently for a bite, and then coyly come back for more. We'll get all of our dirty photos enlarged and printed just to make the print center employees blush. Did you see the new blender demo? We'll watch it pulverize sweet peaches and make everything cream. My body has similar switches and knobs. We could show all of these onlookers what I can pulverize and cream. Sipping from 1.5 liter bottles of liquor and lying on crates of grapefruit. I want everything in bulk. As I lean against the bulge in your Kirkland jeans, we will fill our cart to the brim and buy things on a whim. Can you feel my pulse quickening as we impulse buy everything in sight? While we graze each other's skin, I challenge us to go through just that much coconut oil. We'll get sheets that we can fully soil. All this teasing has me hungry for a Polish dog. Will you press down on the condiment dispenser for me? I want to watch mustard and ketchup squirt all over my dinner. They'll ask us when we check out if we need a box. You will say, I already have one, but I won't turn down another. Thank you.
So I've always been a writer, filled journals when I was a teenager with angsty poetry. But about probably 4 or 5 years ago, I read some poetry at an open mic, and it felt really good. So I sort of looked back at things I'd been writing over the years and just made a commitment to myself to keep writing and finding places and opportunities to share my poetry. Part of, I think, walking around the city and being in an urban environment is just people watching. Like one of my pieces I'm sharing tonight is about technology use, and it actually it was originally 4 different poems that I'd written at different times about cell phone use and relationships and Facebook and Snapchat and all of that. And I've combined them into one piece to just kind of reflect on how we as humans interact with technology. And there's some pieces that are definitely I write them for someone specific. Like I have a couple poems I've written for my nieces. They're young, 3 and 1, and they're poems eventually when they're older I want them to read that might inspire them. But then on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, I've done some different burlesque performances with poetry. So like in between burlesque, doing some spoken word that's on the more kind of adult risque side. So I share my poetry with my friends and with strangers, and I hope that it connects with them. I think it's just a way for me to reflect on life. So words kind of start to come into my head when I'm walking or just sitting around or right before bed, and it's a way for me to process and get things down and reflect on something in a different way than just me talking about it or thinking about it. I eventually want to get some compilations of them together in chapbooks and have them available for people to sell.
A quick poem about technology and how we interact with it. Once we dipped feathers in ink, giving time for words to sink, and used penmanship and flowery language to impress with, we hoped. The impression of initials dipped in wax sealed the envelope. Do you remember waiting by the phone, making sure it wasn't off the hook? Relieved to hear the dial tone, you take another quick look and worry that in those few seconds that you picked it up, they got a busy signal. Once there was a pause between meetings and greetings. And now these means of communication are always within reach, and we become part of this constant conversation with a Snapchat, an email, a Facebook message, a text. And you start to wonder what's next. How soon do you reply? Do you follow someone on Twitter if they have not yet returned the Twitterpation? Can I profess my love aloud and share it on a cloud? Do you use shorthand acronyms and emoticons? Can you LOL at your true love? When do you become Facebook official? And does it start to feel more real when the relationship is also virtual? The glow from your screen is sexier than it should be, lighting up your disinterested face. You are disconnected from this place. Frantic fingers fight your vacant expression. Your collarbone casts sharp shadows up your neck. The whites of your eyes are electric blue, and you are not here. We were destined to lose touch, to move away, to become strangers. We were destined to forget the lines on one another's faces. We were destined to pass in a park. The slight nods of familiarity only left to curiosity. We were destined to live in printed photographs, diary entries, and yearbook signatures, tucked away, locked up, seldom accessible. Our stories were supposed to be brought up over wine at dinner parties. Do you remember her? Do you remember the fun times we had? I wonder whatever happened to her. And we'd laugh, and we'd forget all the things that didn't matter. Our best times would fade away into worn nostalgia, details slipping, perception unraveling fact from fiction. We would have been simply epic tales. We would have been merely legendary. It feels good to leave the phone at home. To walk out the door without the vice of a device. To watch the tick of addiction as you go to check it, but it's not in your pocket. It feels good to be disconnected. It feels good to be reconnected. It feels good to experience life firsthand with only your eyes and ears and memory to record it.
I've been amazed in the last few years just seeing more and more poets on YouTube with really powerful messages getting out there. I love seeing that trend. I hope I can write things, or maybe things I've written I can get out that might inspire people. I've seen some great pieces on body image and death and grieving and making the most of being in the moment. There's just really great themes and topics, and I think we're in a time where poetry can be more accessible through the internet. Hi, my name is Noelle, and I'm a raw artist.